It's not just Democrats, it's the entire country ripping these MAGA Republicans to shreds for passing this horrific budget in the middle of the night. Went through the morning these proceedings. It's going to add trillions to the deficit, cut Medicaid, cut Medicare, take away supplemental nutrition assistance programs. It's going to take away rental assistance programs. It's going to give trillions of tax cuts for the billionaires. But also, don't worry, there will be tax exemptions for silencers and no more regulations in order to register your silencer. That was a major initiative that the MAGA Republicans pushed in this, and also to rename certain types of savings accounts as Trump accounts. Horrific stuff. And the stock market and the bond markets are not reacting favorably to this horrific bill that just passed in the House. It still needs to pass in the Senate, so we'll see what happens there. But here you have MAGA Republican Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson, praising his dear leader in terms that we would normally see in Kim Jong-un's North Korea. Play this clip.
On the world stage. And today wouldn't be possible without the leadership of arguably the most powerful and the most successful and the most respected president in the modern era of the United States. Our Democrat colleagues mocked the objective truth. We were delivered unified government, my friends, in November. The White House, the Senate, and the House were delivered to the party on this side of the aisle. So you can laugh all you want, all right?
And spoken like a true huckster, MAGA Republican Congressmember Bean. Let's play this clip.
So buckle up, America, and put your seat in the upright position, because with the passage of this bill, the golden age of America is ready for takeoff.
The MAGA Republicans were also bragging earlier this morning that they are removing the free method that exists to file your taxes in order to help the businesses that want to control that market. That was a big initiative for them to get rid of the IRS free direct file system. Play this clip.
Regardless of zip code. In addition, we are bringing an end to the unauthorized, wasteful, and redundant IRS direct file program, which directly contradicts taxpayers' best interest. This moment is years in the making, and we now have the opportunity to deliver on the job Americans elected us to do in a fiscally responsible way. And
here's MAGA Republican Congressmember Clyde on his initiative to remove regulations on silencers for guns, silencers that have regulations that have been around for like 100 years. Here, play this clip.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My Democrat colleagues have challenged why the deregulation of silencers is in this bill, and why are we removing the $200 tax? Well, under the law, they are firearms and therefore protected by another law enacted in 1791 called our Second Amendment of our beloved Constitution. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and neither shall it be taxed. Chief Justice John Marshall in 1819 declared that the power to tax includes the power to destroy. If you can tax it, then you can destroy it. You can raise the tax so high that almost no one can afford it, and then you really don't have a right at all. But the Second Amendment is an unalienable constitutional right, God-given, that governments are required to protect, not to tax. The Supreme Court in the Heller decision of 2008 declared the Second Amendment to be an individual constitutional right, further protecting it from taxation, just like the right to speak and the right to vote. This bill simply restores that right from over 90 years of draconian tax. My Democrat colleagues have asked, how did this get in the bill? What was the deal and who asked for it? No deal. I believe the Speaker, with the purest of motives, simply wanted to restore a constitutional right. And who asked?
Time has expired.
Me. I asked. I yield.
Gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Speaker, perhaps it's because it's now past 4 a.m., but I feel like I've entered the twilight zone. We have 13.7 million Americans, at least, who are going to lose their health insurance because of this bill. Another $500 billion worth of cuts to Medicare on top of that. And what is one of their last speakers talking about? A tax cut if you buy silencers. This is bizarre. The reality is millions and millions of Americans are going to lose their health coverage, all to help subsidize tax cuts for billionaires. Oh, yes, and also tax cuts for those who buy gun silencers. And with
Here are the Republicans celebrating on the floor of the House.
On this vote, the yeas are 215, the nays are 214, with one answering present. The bill is passed. USA, USA.
MAGA Republican Congress member Smith saying, we didn't pass this in the middle of the night. Look, we did it this morning, even though you literally put this thing forward, 1 a.m. 2 days ago, and then you were pushing all of this through like literally at 1 a.m. again this morning. But here's Congressmember Smith. Play this clip.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Democrat leader is mistaken. We aren't currently in the dead of night. We are voting for the one big, beautiful bill.
House will be in order.
We are voting for the one big, beautiful bill first thing in the morning because the relief for working families simply can't wait and will work until the job's done. And we're going to.
Now let's talk about the Democrats right here, what they were doing. Leader Jeffries, I thought, gave a very impassioned speech. Let's play this clip.
In this, you are to direct your comments to the chair.
Mr. Speaker, you know what's interesting is that every time I've come on this floor, I can use sharp language. He can use sharp language. You choose to admonish me. I don't work for you, sir. I work for the American people.
I understand. House will be in order. As I said, Mr. Leader, we've been very patient. Just listen to the majority leader of the other side who directed all of his comments to the chair. It is important for the decorum of the institution for you to do the same. You may proceed.
We can continue this.
You may proceed.
And every time I'm interrupted, that's going to add another 15 minutes to my remarks.
Fair enough.
Mr. Speaker.
Here's Leader Jeffries again.
And that's what this one big ugly bill represents. Not simply a broken promise as it relates to your failures on the economy. And despite the gentleman from Louisiana trying to articulate all of the so-called successes that have taken place, we know that this presidency has already been a failure, filled with crisis and chaos, cruelty, and corruption. And the American people know it, which is why Donald Trump, at the 100-day mark, was the most unpopular president in American history. The American people understand. It's unfolding right before their eyes, no matter what kind of MAGA spin you try to put on the situation. And things are going to get worse. Why? Because of this big, ugly bill. Not simply an assault on the economy, a broken promise. It's an assault on the health care of the American people. You see, as Democrats, we believe in this country, health care is not simply a privilege. Health care is a right. And from Medicare to Medicaid to the passage of the Affordable Care Act and subsequently enhancing it. We've begun to move America to a place where every single person in this land could have access to the health care that they need to live a life of dignity and respect. At this moment in America, we have the lowest rate of uninsured people in our nation's history. But this GOP tax scam will reverse that with this assault on health care. The largest cut to Medicaid in American history. And here's what it will mean for the American people. Children will get hurt. Women will get hurt. Older Americans who rely on Medicaid for nursing home care and for home care will get hurt. People with disabilities who rely on Medicaid to survive will get hurt. Hospitals in your districts will close. Nursing homes will shut down, and people will die. That's not hype. That's not hyperbole. That's not a hypothetical. The people that you all represent have been writing to us to make that clear. Thousands of people who've written to us, everyday Americans, have made that clear.
Did you know Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the US with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy customers? They have all the plants your yard needs, like fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and so much more. Whatever plants you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. Order online and get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days without ever leaving home. Their Live and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. Plus, get support from trained plant experts on call to help you plan your landscape, choose the right plants, and learn how to care for them. I got a lemon tree from Fast Growing Trees, and it's my favorite thing in my yard. I was worried about ordering plants online, but it arrived fresh, strong, and ready to plant. Plus, now I get to just walk outside and pick my own citrus, not to mention it smells amazing every time I go out. And by the way, big yard, small yard, no yard at all, doesn't matter. Fast Growing Trees has over 6,000 plants that fit any space, from indoor plants to fruit trees to full-size privacy trees and more. Fast Growing Trees has plant experts on call, so if you're like me and don't have a green thumb, they'll help you choose the right plant and keep it thriving. This spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when using the code Meidas at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S, at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code Meidas. Now is the perfect time to plant. Use Meidas to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply.
Democratic Congressmember Raskin right here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's telling that President Trump and his cult followers have chosen to name their bill after its size and its looks instead of its contents and its values. They don't want anybody looking inside this monstrosity. There's nothing beautiful or big about stripping 14 million Americans of their health care or removing food security from 11 million people, including 4 million kids. That's ugly. That's small. I know Donald Trump has increased his net worth by more than $3 billion since taking office from his global crypto scam, and that yesterday he brought home a $400 million jumbo jet from the monarch dictator of Qatar, a flying constitutional violation packed with threats of espionage and surveillance. But there's nothing big or beautiful about plundering the wealth of the people of America to give to the people who have already profited from Donald Trump's prior schemes.
Here's Democratic Congressmember Boyle.
We just verified with the Congressional Budget Office, and of the 13.7 million Americans who will lose their health care because of their bill, exactly 0 are undocumented immigrants. So the complete artifice that the other side is attempting to convince you is that almost 14 million Americans will lose their health care, but don't worry about it. They're all illegals. They're all people who are defrauding the system. It's completely false, and every independent source has verified that it is false. With that, Mr. Speaker.
Here's Democratic Congressmember McGovern right here. Let's play this clip.
That's the Republican agenda. That's what you guys think is big and beautiful. Greed, corruption, and tax breaks for billionaires. You know, my state of Massachusetts funds states like Indiana, where the gentlelady is from. We get back less than we give. And so how dare she or anybody else vote to steal our tax money and give it to billionaires? So no, we will not go quietly. And no, we will not give up. We will fight this cruel, corrupt, immoral bill every step of the way, because the people we represent are counting on us, and we will never stop fighting for them. I urge every member of this House to vote hell no, never, absolutely not on this terrible disgrace of a bill. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentlelady from Indiana.
Congresswoman AOC.
90 seconds.
Thank you so much, and I thank the ranking member for yielding his time. 13.7 million Americans. 13.7 million Americans are the number of people in this country whose health care are going to be stripped in this bill. Now, Republicans are going to try to tell you every single distraction in the book from that essential number. I want people at home to understand that Medicaid and the federal matching funds for Medicaid can make up 30 to 40% of some of the state budgets that we have going on back in your home. Republicans have put this bill together, rushed it together in a matter of hours on the back of a napkin, shaking it, walking out of the White House, and brought it right here to this floor. They are defunding Planned Parenthood. They are ending tons of Medicaid coverage for 13.7 million Americans, including Affordable Care Act coverage as well. And if you want to get an abortion and have a silver plan on a healthcare plan that you paid for, you will also be affected by this legislation as well. Also, allowing suppressors on guns to be deregulated to some of the largest amounts that we have seen since the 1930s. This is just a Christmas bill. This is just a Christmas tree.
I yield the gentlelady to shield 30 seconds.
And so I want people to understand, for my Republican colleagues who are sure what is in and not in this bill, in this process that has been this rushed, when you wake up in the morning, you will realize that you voted to defund Planned Parenthood and to take away health care from 13.7 million Americans. And when this country wakes up in the morning, there will be consequences to pay for this. And I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
Democratic Congressmember Doggett. Let's play this clip.
Breaking yet another promise. Republicans are cutting Medicare by $500 billion. On October 1st of this year, every Medicare healthcare provider % cut, and that will occur year after year after year as seniors try to find someone who will accept Medicare. And on January the 1st, millions of Americans who rely on the Affordable Care Act lose their access to a family physician. Medicaid for those in nursing homes, for half the babies born in my hometown of Austin, cut. Almost 14 million Americans losing their access to health care. And the new Trump school voucher sabotage plan, atop state vouchers, incentivizes removing students from public schools. Meanwhile, our national debt soaring by trillions from Republicans who talk fiscal responsibility, but serving their cult leader. The deficit hawks have become chicken hawks tonight in submission to Trump, the self-described king of debt, all to reward billionaires with even more tax breaks.
And while all of this was going on, you had Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary, at a conference saying that everything is, this guy's a billionaire, by the way, and he's saying everyone's so rich right now, inflation's gone. No, inflation's actually much worse right now, and things are getting really, really bad. And the Trump regime are, fraudsters, con artists, hucksters. Here, play this clip.
Everything in the world's got 10%. You go to the store now, are you feeling the pain? No. Why not? Because there is no pain. Because what happens is the sellers, the producers, the sellers, and the currencies change, and the price effectively mostly goes away. I'm not, what's the inflation rate in America? 2% odd? Okay. 2% odd. But seriously, for the month of May, every product in the world's got 10% on it right now. With no exceptions, no exclusions. That we have 25% on cars and that are coming in from out. Do any of you feel anything? Because I want you to understand, in the month of May, the United States of America is going to take in $35 billion towards our deficit of tariff revenue in the month of May.
And consumers will feel that.
Well, I said it's already on. This is on since April. So when it's not that the tariff is coming, it's on. Have any of you felt any of it? Seriously.
There you have it, everybody. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.